Hello everyone and welcome. My name's Don Arleth. You're watching World News, coming to you live from Warsaw. A Polish citizen has been detained in the Belarusian town of Lepel on charges of espionage. According to Belarusian state TV, he allegedly was gathering information about the upcoming Zapad 2025 military exercises. Polish authorities have condemned the incident as a provocation and said they are preparing retaliatory measures.
Belarus has detained a Polish monk, Grzegorz G., on charges of espionage. He is accused of gathering intelligence about the upcoming Belarusian-Russian Zapad military drills scheduled for next week. Polish officials have dismissed the allegations, calling the arrest a political provocation.
Our intelligence services categorically reject this. We will not tolerate such provocations and nonsense coming from the Belarusian side. I still do not have a clear understanding of the purpose of the Jesuit's visit. Based on the information available to me, he was visiting a fellow priest who works in Belarus, and that's all we know for now. We are taking diplomatic steps, but as you know, Lukashenko is far from being a reliable partner in such matters. We should not expect goodwill from that side. Let me be clear, we are preparing retaliatory measures in case this situation does not change, and we will act swiftly. Once Minister Sikorski returns, we will develop a comprehensive response plan for the coming weeks regarding Belarus. We know what kind of regime this is. We know what to expect from it. We've already started intergovernmental consultations on how to respond to this. I'm convinced the matter will not go unanswered.
According to Belarusian investigators, Grzegorz G. has received classified documents from a Belarusian citizen, whom he promised monthly payments in exchange for details about the command structure and military counterintelligence staff.
Belarusian border guards have already tried to carry out a similar provocation earlier when Prime Minister Donald Tusk visited the border. On that occasion, they sent armed masked soldiers, and now a Polish citizen has been apprehended. It's not true that Polish security services have at any time used members of the clergy to acquire any information about Belarusian military drills.
An espionage case has been opened under the Belarusian Criminal Code. If convicted, the Polish national could face up to 15 years in prison.
Poland's 18th Mechanized Division, known as the Iron Division, successfully executed a large-scale river crossing over the Narew as part of the ongoing Iron Defender 25 drills. This year's most important exercise for the Polish Armed Forces. Iron Defender 25 involves 30,000 troops from Poland and allied nations, including United States forces. The operation, dubbed Iron Gate 25, involved the construction of a temporary pontoon bridge to enable the rapid passage of armored forces. Nearly 250 military vehicles crossed the river while troops conducted a multi-direction assault using PP-64 pontoon bridges, amphibious transporters, and infantry fighting vehicles to reinforce positions on the opposite bank. The exercise aims to test Polish military's readiness to conduct defensive operations across land, air, and water. It will run through the end of September. Poland is extending its buffer zone along the Belarusian border, introducing another 90 days of restricted access in response to a surge in illegal crossings. Over 13,000 attempts have been made this summer alone. That's an 83% jump from last year.
The Polish Ministry of the Interior says Belarusian forces are actively aiding these crossings, targeting Polish troops with lasers, stones, and even firearms. The zone, stretching over 78 kilometres, remains sealed off. In some areas, it reaches up to 4 kilometres deep into Polish territory. Minister Marcin Kierwiński calls the buffer essential to protect Poland and the EU. The new order kicks in on September 6th and runs through to December 4th.
Russia's full-scale war against Ukraine continues with overnight strikes targeting the Kharkiv and Dnipropetrovsk regions. This comes as Western leaders are still working to include the United States in defining security guarantees for Ukraine, while Russian President Vladimir Putin repeats threats and offers proposals that Kyiv considers insincere.
The aftermath of another attack on a Ukrainian city by the Russians. This time it's Dnipropetrovsk, and its capital, Dnipro, that bears most of the brunt.
They were shelling the plant just 20 meters away from us. As you can see, our windows were blown out. The explosion was very powerful. I've never heard anything like it before. My head just isn't working anymore. I couldn't sleep all night.
The strike comes after the Coalition of the Willing met in Paris, where 26 countries indicated a willingness to send troops to Ukraine to safeguard any future peace deal. According to French President Macron, the group also held a phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump to discuss American support.
The conclusion of this call is simple. In the following days, we will finalize the American support for these security guarantees. As I said, the United States is involved in every step of this process.
The American president told reporters that he would call Russian leader Vladimir Putin soon.
I will be, yeah, I will be. We're having a very good dialogue.
As for Putin, who comes fresh out of talks with China, there is little to suggest that he's willing to enter negotiations.
The Ukrainian side wants this meeting and is offering this meeting. I said I was ready. Please come. We will definitely provide perfect working conditions and safety, 100%, guaranteed.
Kyiv has repeatedly dismissed the suggestion of President Zelensky traveling to Moscow. The Kremlin doesn't consider Zelensky to be legitimate, despite the fact that he was elected in free and fair elections. Zelensky traveling to Russia would be too dangerous and would signal capitulation.
I believe that Russia is doing everything it can to postpone this meeting. Our American partners have informed us that Putin has invited me to Moscow, but I think that if Putin doesn't want the meeting to take place, he should invite me to Moscow.
Although the formulation of security guarantees seems to be inching closer, any talk of peace remains far away.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that thousands of foreign troops could be deployed to Ukraine as part of a post-war security guarantee, following a meeting with European Council President Antonio Costa. This comes after French President Emmanuel Macron revealed that 26 countries have pledged support for a prospective reassurance force, although Russian President Vladimir Putin warned that any Western troops on Ukrainian soil would be considered legitimate targets.
And we also understand which countries are ready to implement what. There are reports out there about the possible deployment of 10,000 troops. Again, I will not talk about the number, but it is important that we are discussing all this. Yes, it will definitely be in the thousands, not just a few, and this is a fact, but it is still a little early to talk about it.
Vladimir Putin has ordered the Russian government to step up efforts to exploit the country's rare earths. Although Russia has the fifth largest reserves of these minerals in the world, it's barely a blip on the global market.
This is the Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok, an excellent occasion for the Kremlin to show off how well Russia is doing. But this year, President Putin had a very specific order for his subordinates: triple your efforts on exploiting the country's rare earth deposits.
6 months ago, in February, we agreed to approve a long-term plan for the development of the rare earth industry. I asked the government of the Russian Federation to do this no later than November of this year.
Putin's impatience can be understood. Despite Russia having the fifth largest reserves in the world, the country only contributes 1% of the global rare earths output. Russia has only one mine of rare earths open and one processing plant. Their main export products are niobium and tantalum. Other projects have run into problems, with Putin publicly chastising officials for delays. One major project is a field called Tomto, located in the northern Siberian region of Yakutia. But the biggest undeveloped deposit is called Kolmozerskoye in the Kola Peninsula. Both are tough regions, so Putin tried to sweeten the deal.
Wherever an investor comes to any Far Eastern or Arctic region, city or village, they will have the right to benefits everywhere.
But there's also a political component to all of this. In February, Putin suggested he would be very open to welcoming American companies interested in rare earths extraction. This was soon after Trump stated interest in Ukrainian deposits. So far, nothing has materialized.
And that concludes this edition of World News. Thanks for joining us, and stay with us for more here on TVP World.